We start with At the Appetite Cure by Mark Twain. This establishment's name is Hutchberghaus. It is in Bohemia, a short day's journey from Vienna, and being in the Austrian Empire is, of course, a health resort. The empire is made up of health resorts. It distributes health to the whole world. Its waters are all medicinal. They are bottled and sent throughout the earth. The natives themselves drink beer. This is a self-sacrifice, apparently, but outlanders who have drunk Vienna beer have another idea about it, particularly the Pilsener, which one gets in a small cellar up an obscure back lane in the first Bezirk. The name has escaped me, but the place is easily found. You inquire for the Greek church, and when you get to it, go right along by the next house is that little beer mill. It is remote from all traffic and all noise. It is always Sunday there. There are 2 small rooms with low ceilings supported by massive arches. The arches and ceilings are whitewashed. Otherwise, the rooms would pass for cells in the dungeons of a Bastille. The furniture is plain and cheap. There is no ornamentation anywhere, yet it is a heaven for the self-sacrificers. For the beer, there is incomparable. There is nothing like it elsewhere in the world. In the first room, you will find 12 or 15 ladies and gentlemen of civilian quality. In the other one, a dozen generals and ambassadors. One may live in Vienna many months and not hear of the place, but having once heard of it and sampled it, the sampler will afterward infest it. However, this is all incidental, a mere passing note of gratitude for blessings received. It has nothing to do with my subject. My subject is health resorts. Well, anything alcoholic, even low alcohol beer, causes damage to the body and brain by the time you get at least an ounce in a 24-hour period. So a lot of the conceptions back then were off. All unhealthy people ought to domicile themselves in Vienna and use that as a base, making flights from time to time to the outlying resorts according to need. A flight to Marienbad to get rid of fat. A flight to Carlsbad to get rid of rheumatism. A flight to Kaltenlutgeben to take the water cure and get rid of the rest of the diseases. It is also handy. You can stand in Vienna and toss a biscuit into the Kaltenlutgeben with a 12-inch gun. You can run out thither at any time of the day. You go by the phenomenally slow trains, and yet inside of an hour you have exchanged the glare and swelter of the city for the wooded hills and the shady forest paths and soft cool airs and the music of birds and the repose and peace of paradise. And there are plenty of other health resorts at your service and convenient to get at from Vienna. Charming places, all of them. Vienna sits in the center of a beautiful world of mountains with now and then a lake of forest. In fact, no other city is so fortunately situated. There are abundance of health resorts, as I have said. Among them this place, Hutchberghaus. It stands solitary on the top of a densely wooded mountain and is a building of great size. It is called the Appetite and Stalt, and the people who have lost their appetites came here to get them restored. When I arrived, I was taken by Professor Hingberger to his consulting room and questioned. It is 6 o'clock. When did you eat last? At noon. What did you eat? Next to nothing. What was on the table? The usual things, chops, chickens, vegetables, and so on. Yes, but don't mention them. I can't bear it. Are you tired of them? Oh, utterly. I wish I might never hear of them again. The mere sight of food offends you, does it? More, it revolts me. The doctor considered a while, and then got out a long menu and ran his eye slowly down it. I think, said he, that what you need is, to eat is, but here, choose for yourself. I glanced at the list, and my stomach threw a handspring. All of the barbarous layouts, that were ever contrived. This was the most atrocious. At the top stood tough, underdone, overdue tripe, garnished with garlic. Halfway down the bill stood young cat, scrambled cat. At the bottom stood sailor boots, softened with tallow, served raw. The white intervals of the bill were packed with dishes calculated to insult a cannibal. I said, "Doctor, it is not fair to joke over so serious a case as mine. I came here to get an appetite, not to throw away the remnants that's left." He said gravely, "I am not joking. Why should I joke? But I can't eat these horrors. Why not?" He said that with a naivety that was admirable, whether it was real or assumed. Why not? Because, why, doctor, for months I've seldom been able to endure anything more substantial than omelets and custards. These unspeakable dishes of yours. Oh, you will come to like them then. They are very good, and you must eat them. It is the rule of the place, and it is strict, and I cannot permit any departure from it. Well, perhaps the omelets and custards are foods that he can't handle, and the causing imbalances that could make things worse. But I said, smiling, "Well then, doctor, you will have to permit the departure of the patient. I am going." He looked hurt and said in a way which changed the aspect of things, "I am sure you would not do me that injustice. I accepted you in good faith. You will not shame that confidence. This appetite cure is my whole living. If you should go forth from it with the sort of appetite which you now have, it could become known. And you can see yourself that people would say my cure failed in your case, and hence can fail in other cases. You will not go. You will not do me this hurt." I apologized and said I would stay. "That is right. I was sure you would not go. It would take the food from my family's mouths. Would they mind that? Do they eat these fiendish things? They, my family?" His eyes were full of gentle wonder. "Of course not." "Oh, they don't. Do you?" "Certainly not. I see. It's another case of a physician who does not take his own medicine. I do not need it. It is 6 hours since you lunched. Will you have supper now or later? I am not hungry, but it is as good a time as any, and would like to be done with it and have it off my mind. It is about my usual time, and regularity is commanded by all the authorities. Yes, I will try and nibble a little now. I wish a light horsewhipping would answer instead." The professor handed me that odious menu. "Choose, or you will have it later." "Oh, dear me. Show me to my room. I forgot your hard rule. Wait just a moment before you finally decide. There is another rule. If you choose now, the order will be filled at once, but if you wait, you have to await my pleasure. You cannot get a dish from that entire bill until I consent." "All right, show me to my room, and send the cook to bed. There is not going to be any hurry." The professor took me up one flight of stairs and showed me into a most inviting and comfortable apartment, consisting of parlor, bedchamber, and bathroom. The front windows looked out over a far-reaching spread of green glades and valleys, and tumbled hills clothed with forests, a noble solitude unvexed by the fussy world. In the parlor were many shelves filled with books. The professor said he would now leave me to myself, and added, "Smoke and read as much as you please. Drink all the water you like. When you get hungry, ring and give your order, and I will decide whether it shall be filled or not. Yours is a stubborn bad case, and I think the first 14 dishes in the bill are each and all too delicate for its needs. I ask you as a favor to restrain yourself and not call for them." "Restrain myself, is it? Give yourself no uneasiness. You are going to save money by me. The idea of coaxing a sick man's appetite back with this buzzard's fare is clear insanity." I said it with a bitterness, for I felt outraged by this calm, cold talk over these heartless new engines of assassination. The doctor looked grieved, but not offended. He laid the bill of fare on the commode at my bed's head, so that it would be handy, and said, "Yours is not the worst case I have encountered by any means. Still it is a bad one, and requires the robust treatment. Therefore, I shall be gratified if you will restrain yourself and skip down to number 15 and begin with that." He left me, and I began to undress, for I was dog-tired and very sleepy. I slept 15 hours and woke up finally refreshed at 10 the next morning. Vienna coffee. I guess I have to stop there, but again, if the guy was a doctor, smoking and drinking would be off the table. There are things that people smoke that they claim is medicinal, but again, the effects of it are
better, or at least equal, if they don't smoke it. And then they don't have to deal with the problems to their health by smoking it. But a doctor that would put something on the toilet is not some, that's the sort of thing that you don't expect nowadays, except those doctors that, I don't know, they like to torture people with, all things are based on some sort of reality, saying, oh, we need to torture the OCD people. No, you don't. Trauma-based, programming, because you are exposing them to unnecessary risks, so you can figure out something different